Women design menswear better.
Menswear and men's fashion has come on leaps and bounds since its inception almost in the 90s, with the likes of Hedi Slimane, Raf Simons and Helmut Lang developing the category into what we all love today. It's clear that these men truly know and understand how to design for guys. Yet historically, women have been far more successful in menswear fashion and fashion overall. Think Miuccia Prada, Rei Kawakubo, Vivienne Westwood. Arguably, they have on par or even better legacies within menswear compared to the individuals I mentioned before. And in recent years, I've been far more impressed by female designers who seem to be revolutionising the space and really bringing new innovations to the forefront of the category. They've really set the tone for the average Joe who likes clothes. But why is this? Hey guys, I'm Henry and this is The Lowdown, where I talk about everything and anything fashion related. Today, we will be discussing why I think female designers can design far better than their male counterparts, and outlining some of my key reasons why they seemingly craft more all-encompassing and impressive menswear collections. If you're new around here, make sure to subscribe and drop a like and a comment below to let me know what you think of this video. The first reason for why I think women can design better than men is that historically, women have not been limited by cut or silhouette. Most of the female designers I've just mentioned have ultimately come across to design both women's wear and menswear, and I think for the most part, men and menswear has been very close-minded and secluded for a while. This can clearly be seen by the way that Helmut Lang reinvented menswear in the late 90s simply by mixing casual wear with formal. For example, take Farfetch, one of the biggest fashion retailers online. They don't just have skirts. They have line skirts, asymmetrical skirts, pencil skirts, ankle length skirts, pleated skirts, the list goes on. And for men in contrast, I could count the categories on one hand. Naturally, I think because of this reason, female designers therefore are far more open-minded when it comes to designing for men and see the overall blank canvas that they can create something exceptional with. One of my favourite and a key example of this is Martine Rose. Her focus on things such as the shrunken and pulled product and silhouette across men's staples such as hoodies and t-shirts really just revitalizes and breathes a new sense of energy and innovation to a pretty boring category otherwise. It just allows you to experiment with categories guys already know and love, and it allows you to create something new and refreshing which you'll be a big fan of because it's just so different. I definitely check these references out from Martine Rose if you're just looking for a bit of a more refreshing take on product categories that can be quite mundane. And whilst you're at it, let me know which is your favourite in the comment. I'd love to hear about it. The next reason on my list for women being so much better at designing menswear than guys is fundamentally fashion as a whole is becoming genderless and gender neutral. By designing effectively for both women and men, your designs carry a lot more merit, and I think they become far more universal. So therefore, someone designing both men's and women's clothing to a higher level will always be far more successful and will always look a lot more interesting compared to somebody who isn't being innovative in both categories. I think gone are the days of people being closed-minded and regimented when it comes to what product a guy or a girl can wear. Just wear what you want, and we rightfully now allow all people to be and show who they truly are, and this in turn affects fashion in a big way. By designing without limitations and without the dated gender norms of previous days, I think your designs become transcendent and really just reach a next level which previously was unheard of. Simply by changing the playing field, your work will speak to higher volumes and more limited equivalents. By reshaping the parameters, you therefore have a massive advantage. For me, Simone Rocha is a prime example of the shifts and changes we can see across menswear today. This can be seen with her largely feminine approach to menswear, incorporating the likes of large bows, sheer, and other more quintessentially feminine fabrics and finishes across staple menswear items such as shirts, hoodies, and trousers. These really bring a more unorthodox and refreshing take to menswear which we've not really seen before. And in my eyes, it appears far more fascinating than any more restrained alternatives. So by creating these really unique collections that both guys and girls can love together, maybe even share a couple pieces too, it's just so much more expressive and impressive than anything else. I think there's also been more of a desire in menswear to sell sex in a new way, really championing your body and your shape and being happy with how you look. And this is further expression in menswear which we have never seen before. Growing up, I could have never imagined wearing either a tighter fitting top to show off my body, whereas now it seems like just a normal everyday item. My final reason will probably be the most polarizing, so I'd love to hear your feedback on it. but women just dress better than men. Guys, we have to admit it, the girlies know what they're doing. Fashion has been around for a millennia, but it's always been first and foremost for women, even when you look back to the 1700s and 1800s, for instance. I think in general, even on the low-end consumer basis, the average girl dresses a lot better than the average guy, and they also seem to take more pride in what they wear and how they look from an earlier age. This may have changed nowadays, but historically that has been the case. And I think particularly after COVID, there was a big shift through the help of TikTok to people taking a bit more pride in what they wear and engaging in fashion more than they used to. But I think it's still evident that girls always want to be dressed up and always want to be looking a lot better than a guy. And I think this also goes back to those dated gender norms. I think historically women have always had to present themselves in a more put together way, and guys just haven't had to worry about it. Simply, a guy can get away dressing poorly whereas a woman can't, or at least can dress way worse than a woman can and still get away with it. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm holding my hands up. My mum was still buying my clothes when I started secondary school. So even at that point, a woman is dictating what I wear and putting me together in clothes that arguably are going to be more put together than what I could have done at that age. She knew better. I think fundamentally for anybody, if you spend more time interacting and engaging with fashion, naturally you're going to be dressing better than somebody who maybe hasn't been interested in it for that long, and you'll certainly have a firmer grasp on what's hot and what's not. And whilst this is a very generalized proposition, I understand designers themselves are going to be far more interactive with fashion than even I am or even you guys are. So then I'll be way more into clothing and understanding fashion more than the average person is. But I guess it's these slight tweaks that can give someone the edge over somebody who, on paper, maybe is the same experience or the same level as them when it comes to being a creative designer and being a tailor or a couturist. I think ultimately, to conclude, in my opinion, the male designers of years gone by were far more adept and skilled at creating more put together and well-rounded collections, while still incorporating standout looks and aesthetics which we even nowadays love to copy. However, we can't ignore the fact that are very much so still male designers in the space doing amazing work. Some names that spring to mind are the likes of Demna, Virgil Abloh, Marc Jacobs, as well as the current resurgence of Galliano. And it demonstrates there's still a lot of very skilled male artists in the space. But my goal of the video today was more to really champion the work of female designers, both past and present, to show how much they've shaped menswear and give them the recognition and attention they truly deserve. They, for me, even now, breathe a lot more energy into the space than their male counterparts. And I don't know about you guys, but for that I'm truly grateful. Of course, as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments about this. I'm sure there's some present day female designers in menswear that I've definitely missed off. And I'd love to know if there's anybody that you really want to shout out as someone within the space doing great work. So make sure you drop their names below and tell me a bit about them. Once again, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.